And that counter's going. Hi, this is Pete the Tech Guy, and I am here at Zeta's Pizza, where I'm about to enjoy a very nice pizza, but I'm also about to play my baseball league games. There's the Dynasty baseball games, there's the dice. We're about to play a 3-game series. Our baseball league is in the second to last week of its season, and I am tied for the last playoff spot. So these are very meaningful games to me. Now, Zeta's here is a very good pizza place in Fitchburg that lets us play, and I'm doing this commentary rather than a live stream because I have something short to say, but this is the perfect setting for it. Now, strangely enough, obviously my goal is to win, to try and advance to the playoffs, to try and win the championship, and I just remembered I forgot to take the trophy that my wife wanted me to take out of the house, but that's a whole nother story. But when you think about it, the goals that I have to win today, my goals as a guy managing a baseball team, have less in common with Major League Baseball owners than the goals here at Zeta's is.
Maybe you should watch yourself.
Now, Zeta's, my goal is to win for the sake of winning. But the primary goal of the baseball owner is the same goal as the people here at Zeta's, and that's to make money, to make a living. Connie Mack, who owned the Philadelphia A's for 50 years before they eventually became Kansas City and eventually became Oakland and will eventually become whatever they become if they move, used to say, the best thing for me is a team that starts strong and finishes fourth, because a team that starts strong will draw enough to pay the bills and you don't have to give people raises for what they didn't do. Without winning a championship, you don't have to give them a raise. Connie Mack was famous for selling off his stars after winning championships for a couple of years. And this was in the days before TV contracts where you had some guaranteed money. Now, the reason I bring that up is this. It's very important to remember what people's actual goals are. Again, my goal is to win because I'm playing a series. But Zeta's goal is to make a profit when they sell their pizzas and such, because they're trying to make, the owner's trying to make a living. The goal of the baseball, Major League Baseball, is to make a profit because the owners want to get a return on their investment, unless they're a completely vanity project. Some people do vanity projects. Although LeBron James, when he bought into the Red Sox, it's not so much a vanity project. He's hoping to make money. He's diversifying himself for the days when he's no longer playing basketball and people aren't giving him giant checks anymore. And I mention this because of the vaccines that are out there. Now, when the COVID first hit, we fast-tracked vaccines. Now, that was a very good thing for us to do because it was a new disease. We didn't know much. We want to try and, we needed something fast because people were dying pretty quick. But it's also important to remember that the companies that were making the vaccines and the companies that still are and are continue to testing, they're corporations. And the primary goal of a corporation, whether it's Zeta's or whether it's Major League Baseball or whether it's Pfizer or something else, isn't to make a vaccine or to make a pizza or to play a baseball game. The primary goal is to make a profit, because that's what a corporation does. They're making profits for their shareholders. That's what a pizza place does. It's making a profit for its owner. That's what a Major League Baseball team does. It's making a profit for its owners or its shareholders if it's a more publicly traded, if there's a lot of minority shares. Now, that doesn't mean these guys aren't trying to do their best. They rather have a vaccine that works than not, because obviously if it doesn't work, people don't take it, they can't sell it, they can't make money off of it. But it's important to keep this in mind. Many times our friends on the left, all during my youth, were over there, don't trust corporations, don't trust this, don't trust authority. Well, suddenly, all of a sudden, we have to trust authority. And if we don't trust authority or their motives, we're bad. When Facebook censors people with different opinions, when YouTube censors people with different opinions, when Twitter censors people with different opinions, what those are corporations that are making these decisions to try and silence you. Now, if you've got a good argument, you're not afraid of someone else's argument. When you don't have a good argument, you're trying to shut down other people. So keep this in mind. That doesn't mean you shouldn't trust the vaccines, although they still haven't gotten the FDA approval, and they're a little less effective than vaccines that have been out there forever, but that's, again, to be expected. This is only a couple of years old. The fact that we've reached this point that we have something rather than nothing is nothing short of amazing, and the scientists involved should all take a lot of credit for it. But like anything else, over time they will improve. But when the government makes a decision on this, on mandates or anything else, remember, what are the cost benefit? Who is benefiting? If a company decides, oh, we're going to force a mandate, it's probably because they're afraid of a lawsuit here or there. Fear of a lawsuit, fear of things, that company's interest is what really goes into a lot of these things. So keep this in mind. You don't have to doubt, you don't have to completely distrust. But keep it in mind when you make a decision, because the free people will make their own decisions. Now I'm going to decide to try and win these games, and Mike over here, who is making sure that I'm centered on myself, is going to decide to do his best to stop me. Well, this is Pete the Tech Guy, hoping that you have as good a weekend as I've had so far, and wish me luck, because Patrick next to me is going to be trying for that playoff spot. He's only a game behind. Brian, who's not here yet, is going to be tied with me. So he's going to be fighting. So there's going to be a lot of fighting for this last playoff spot. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it. That's all today. Take care and goodbye. And there's the